Blanc is an interesting game that just came out on Windows and Nintendo Switch. Play as both a baby wolf and a baby deer as they find their ways back home and become friends along the way. Gameplay wise, you can either play this by yourself or with a friend. The game recommends you play with a controller, and I also recommend you play with one too, as the keyboard controls are pretty poor. They can be changed, but it's not an easy task to do so. There's also an online play mode, but that is only to play with a friend online. You need to have a friend on your friend list who owns the game in order to invite them to your game. You cannot pair up with random players, it looks like. So I was left with only one option, and that was to play it on my own. So the first impression is from that perspective. In order to play this on my own, on the controller, I just had to pick the one controller option before beginning the game. Once you begin the game, the left joystick and the left button and trigger would control the wolf, and the right joystick and right button and trigger would control the deer. This was, for the most part, not that hard to control, but things did get kind of muddled up a few times for me. But I found if you just took turns in certain situations with the left and the right side of the controller, it wasn't too hard to navigate the game. The puzzles are pretty light on the difficulty, and as expected of a two-player co-op experience, the two animals are meant to help one another to solve the problems. Some situations will require the deer and others the wolf, and sometimes both of them combined. There is no dialogue in this game, but the story is still well told through the actions of the game and the interactions between the deer and the wolf during the short cinematics. The game is absolutely adorable, though it is a shame it is quite short. According to the Steam reviews, people are able to complete the game in under 2 hours, which for a game that costs $14.99 US is a bit underwhelming if you ask me. It could have been a bit cheaper for a game that can be completed in under 2 hours of playtime. Visually, the game is very unique, going for this 3D artistic book sketch style of visual artwork that was really very gorgeous. It was simple and yet still able to portray a gorgeous snowy environment. The game runs really well, and I was always in the 200 FPS plus area while playing it. While it's not the most demanding visual game I've ever played, it's definitely one of the more unique ones, that's for sure. Overall, I'd say that Blanc is a fantastic co-op two-player game that can be played on your own, but if you want the maximum as intended experience, you should definitely try to play this with a friend. While the $14.99 US price tag may be a bit steep for a 2-hour game, it's still a pretty game to play if you have someone to play it with. I wouldn't recommend playing it on your own like I did, though. It really ruins the experience if you ask me. So if you have a friend who loves to play games and would like to play a great two-player game with you, I highly recommend this one to you both. And better make sure you have both a controller to play with, because I do not recommend playing this on keyboard. So there you have it. That's my first impression on Blanc. Thank you for watching. I'm Sorensen. Have a fantastic day. Please drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed my content, and hit that bell icon to stay up to date on all my upcoming videos. And if you're watching this on TapTap.io or the TapTap app, I hope you'll consider following my profile as well. Bye bye!